Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when
all right, as always, Dolphins number one, baby!
So fins up to all you guys. Thank you for doing
I just want everybody to remember, we may not always agree on everything Miami Dolphins, but there's one thing we do agree on, is we are all Dolphin fans. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Fins Talk. I'm your host, Steve Malloy, and joining me tonight, my co-host, the one and only Rob Mosley, a.k.a. Dolphins Thirsty. How you doing tonight, Rob?
Doing great. Today's another Tuesday, so on DolphinThirsty.com, there's a Trivia Tuesday out there for you guys. Some hard ones, some easy ones, a lot of fun. Check me out here on YouTube on Dolphins Thirsty. And I got a shop image coming to Dolphin Thirsty soon, too. That will help the channel a little bit, so it's good. So it's going to be all fun. Excited to grow along here with Real Talk Fins Talk, the great Fins Talk Sports Network. Great team to be on, so I'm very happy. Thank you, Steve.
Absolutely, Rob. No problem, brother. No problem. Well, we got a lot to talk about tonight, but we'll do a little housekeeping first. First off, everyone that's coming into the chat, as you come in, don't forget to hit that like button. Hit it twice if you forget. We'd love for you to hit that like button. We are almost at 1,000. We're almost at 1,000. So we appreciate you all in the chat. We couldn't do this show without you. And also, as you're coming into the chat and you hit that like button, and subscribe, share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. But always remember, we may not always agree everything Dolphins, but there's one thing we can agree on. We are all Dolphins.
That's correct. That's your trademark line, and I use it over on my show sometime too, or because you say it very well, Steve. I give you kudos.
Thank you. Thank you. And also remember our show, Real Talk Fins Talk, Rob, and chat, everyone that's in the chat, it's joined. We are on Spotify immediately following the show. All of the shows on the Fins Talk Sports Network are on Spotify as well. To get your free podcast, go ahead and download that app. And you can listen to it while you're driving and work in the morning, or driving home from the evening. Whenever you want to listen to it, is there for your availability. Also, immediately following our show tonight at 7:30, they have World Cup qualifiers. They're going to do a preview on the World Cup qualifiers. Soccer, if you all are interested in soccer. And at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time is going to be 10th Street Boys with Bobby and Alex. If you like their show, I'm sure you do or will. They are going to be talking about Tua and the Dan Marino debate. Who was better? To me, it's an easy answer. Dan Marino.
It shouldn't be mentioned in the same breath, but hey, I know their take already. It's going to be good, I'm sure. If they have another take, I'm going to have to go meet AJ in Hialeah. It's not too far of a drive from me, so.
You're right.
Yeah, so, but I know their take. I know without knowing.
Yeah. Well,
Evan says you're welcome for the link because I was in the middle of something. Yes,
sure,
I forgot to send Steve the link.
Absolutely. Thank you, Evan. Good. You saved the day. Evan. Man, we got a lot to talk about, man. I'm excited. I don't know about you, Rob. We got the Los Angeles Chargers coming up on Sunday, just, right around the corner here. Man, I'm just excited that football's going to start. It's going to be very interesting. We got a new defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio, one of the best in the NFL. So let's see what he can do with our defense. I'm looking forward to it. And not only that, but isn't it neat that we've got Randall Hill, who's on our team now? He's no longer on the Los Angeles Chargers. He's on our team. So you know what that means? Maybe we got a little advantage this time. Him being on the team, and actually he was on the defense side of the ball with Los Angeles Chargers last year. So maybe that's going to help us in the long run to get our, get Tua going and rolling in our offense. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, you got the wrong name, but it's okay. And I was going to say it, but I
What's
didn't
his
want to
name?
correct you until
What's his name?
you
Ronaldo
said
Hill. My bad.
you said Brando
My
Hill, which
bad.
was a Dolphins first
My
round
bad.
pick a few
Right.
years, many moons ago. And I sometimes want to call Tyreek Randall Hill. Tyreek,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just fun. We got too
Well,
many
well,
Hills. We got Julian Hill. We got a coach
yeah.
named Hill. We got a receiver named Hill. But
Yeah.
I forgot to send you the link, so I didn't want to correct you yet. But hey,
That's all right. But Ronaldo Hill, he did play for the Dolphins too.
Yes, he did, but
He
way
played
back
for
in the
the
day.
Dolphins way back in the day. So he not only did he play for the Dolphins, he was the coach of the Los Angeles Chargers defense when we played against him. And now he's on our team, so that's a good thing. But like I said, we have a lot to talk about. I wanted to talk about the offense first, going into the Los Angeles Chargers, and I actually just got through listening not 10 minutes ago. A reporter for one of the newspapers in San Diego, and he's a sports reporter, and he follows he writes and follows the Los Angeles Chargers, and he was talking on a podcast that I just watched, and the Los Angeles Chargers, they've got some offensive line issues as well, from what he was talking about. They've made some moves. They played some musical chairs on that offensive line. So they're not as confident with their offensive line as we are not confident with our offensive line. There was some injuries last year. They had 2 starters that were injured last year. So on the O-line, so we'll see. That's what they're talking about. We'll see what happens with them. Do they come back strong? And plus they move some people around. Also, I learned that Austin Eckler, their running back, although he's a good running back, good all-around running back, he's not a pounder. He's not a bruiser. And their weak link for this team this year is their running game. So their goal for this game is to throw the ball downfield. So you might be seeing Justin Herbert throwing the ball a lot downfield, which is going to play right into the hands of Vic Fangio. What's your take on that, Rob?
Whoa, take a deep breath. You got a lot out. I'm impressed, man. You need to take up a new profession. You got that out smoothly, too. I'm very impressed. Hey, Adam, fins up to you as always. You're the one that hit me up with that Liam Eichenberg was starting, so that surprised me on the offensive line. You told me because I was driving around trying to take care of stuff, and you sent me that, so that surprised me. But I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think it should make for a good football game this week. Last year we just kind of laid an egg out there. Wasn't very. The one thing I remember from that game is Tyreek Hill, too many hills again. Tyreek Hill picking up the fumble and running it for a touchdown. Outside of that, a lot of that game, and when the Dolphins decided to go to like a prevent defense or something like that, even though it was down there near the. A couple things like that, but that game was just an ugly game altogether. And I'd rather just put that out of my memory. So I'm happy I don't remember too much from that game because it was just ugly.
Absolutely.
So
It's a new year. It's a new year. It's a different year. Everything that happened last year, we're going to put all that behind us. Everything. So yeah, I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, because that was ugly. That was just really, really a stinker of a performance. It's my professional analysis. It was a stinker of performance, and it is what it is. So yes, I think just we have to go back out there and show better. Hopefully with a W, of course, because that's all that matters in the NFL is a W. There's no old college try. You got to get that W, but at least show a lot better than what we did last year out on the West Coast. And I can go back to the 49ers game too, because other than the first play for the touchdown, we were all like, oh my God, we're going to kick butt out in San Fran. Those 2 weeks on the West Coast were basically not very good games. So hopefully we get the West Coast jinx out of the way and go out there and come back a happy airplane. The team players are coming back to South Florida and having, a nice flight before they have to travel north for game 2. So yes, I am hoping for a much better performance.
Yeah. And so we kind of got an idea, a glimpse of what their game plan is. As I just said, I was listening to this gentleman who covers the Los Angeles Chargers. And so basically, from what I understand, just as I said, their game plan is to throw the ball downfield, get it downfield, and also, maybe utilize Eckler. And of course, they got another back behind. They got Spiller back there now this year as well. So I don't know. Maybe that's going to help their running game a little bit. But now that we know that, let's go to the Miami Dolphins offense. And we've got Tua Tagovailoa. He's back. He's starting for us. I don't really particularly care about the backup quarterbacks. Hopefully they don't even have to come in and play this year. Right. That's the goal. So I can care less who the starter is. I think it's going to be fluid throughout the year anyway. One half dozen or the other, whoever comes in, if they have to come in, I think we're going to get the same result. And I don't think it's going to be pretty. That's just my opinion. But I will say this year going forward, and this goes for many of the games that we're going to play this year against defenses, but specifically we're talking about the Los Angeles Chargers. The Miami Dolphins really haven't upgraded, in my opinion, on the O-line. You got Eichenberg starting, you got Austin Jackson starting, you've got Connor Williams starting, which I know Evan and a lot of folks are worried about his snapping issues and all that. I am to an extent. I'm not too worried about Connor. I'm not too worried about Robert Hunt. I am worried about Armstead because right now, as it stands, I don't know if Armstead is going to start. We won't know until game day, but right now it's not looking like he's going to start. Who is going to start in his place?
No.
Maybe that's why Wynn will not be starting at left guard, because Wynn is a natural left tackle. So if Armstead isn't ready to go, Wynn might be the one in his place as opposed to Kendall Lamb. So that's how I see it. But it's just crazy to me that they haven't improved on the offensive line.
I know.
And hell, the backup center's Lester Cotton, and
yes.
they only have one tackle. Kendall Lamb, that's it.
Yeah. Well, the improvement's going to have to come. They're hoping for improvement, that the players themselves improve. They're hoping that Austin Jackson. Now, granted, we didn't really see Austin Jackson last year, so we can't say he had a bad year.
To be fair, yes, you're right.
But he has to take a big step from the last time that we saw Austin Jackson playing in regular season football game. So he has to come up. We're also depending that Eichenberg is going to step up and improve. So, I mean, I agree that the names are the same for the most part, but they're just calling on it. And, that's just super plan. And speaking of super, Steve, didn't you tell me that there's something special on this network now that people can do of a super nature?
Oh, yes, of course. We do have super chats available. So if you wanted to give to the channel, to support the channel at Finns Talk Sports Network, you can put up your super chat and we'll shine it up, show it up there on the board with a comment. So yeah, definitely. If all of you feel, the urge, or want to, go ahead and, do a super chat, for the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Keep the lights on, keep us going, and really support the channel here. And we'll just continue to put out the great content. Thank you, Rob, for that reminder. Yeah, I see Bleezy. Bleezy's in the house. What's up, Bleezy? We got Adam. I saw Adam was in there. Cat for Life is in there. There's others that are in here I'm probably missing, but I want to welcome all of you. But Rob, before we get started again, can you play that video?
Oh boy, man, you didn't give me a cue, but I gotta go find. Let me get to the video section real quick.
That's fine. All
right,
man.
There we go. Because
tight end and offensive line could just be justified as more positions of need. Was this guy significantly higher on your board than any of the tight ends or offensive linemen available?
When we do our board, we go through it, and there were a lot of good players that were picked too, ahead of those. So we look at every position, we go through it, I think you guys are probably more worried than we are, in terms of, at the position depth at those spots you talked about. But at the end of the day, we added a good football player. We're happy. And like we said, the draft, it doesn't end with the draft.
So there you go. There you go. Chris
Well,
Greer.
Steve, you're going to have me remembering that press conference verbatim by the end of the season if they don't. Because you say every time you're not happy with the line, you're going to replay that. I'm going to learn that. I'm going to be able to recite that in my sleep eventually. I've heard it every week on here now.
Yep, it's going to be every week until this line gets fixed. You heard it, folks. You heard it. Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel are happy with the O-line. So guess what? I'm happy with the O-line. Not. I'm not. But
I know
look,
you're not.
As fans, as Dolphin fans, we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna take their word for what they said. And we'll see. We'll see this Sunday what the deal is with this O-line. But going back to the offense, what I feel, and I think a lot of folks have been talking about this, is what we're going to have to do for the Miami Dolphins to win this football game is we are going to have to run the ball. We're going to have to pound the rock, and short, quick passes. That's what we're going to have to do to win this game. And then if there's an opening, if Tyreek comes open or Waddle or one of those guys, then hit him for the deep ball. But that I feel is going to be the key to winning this game against the Los Angeles Chargers. And the reason why I say that, number one, is speaking of the same podcaster, which I can remember his name, podcaster/reporter. Last year, the Los Angeles Chargers had a problem in the middle, running up the middle. They are weak in the middle of the defense. Boza, Khalil Mack, they're great on the edges. They're great at covering the edges, but they're very weak in the middle. So if we can pound that rock, then we're going to have to run away from Boza and Mack. That's going to be the key. They're very weak.
I agree. Now, and Bleezy, does he undervalue the line? You could look at it two ways. He undervalues the line, or he overvalues the guys that we have on the line, thinking they're really good. And he might be right. Maybe they'll come out and ball this year, and all of us would be quiet, and we will never speak of this matter again. But so many years as a Dolphin fan, it's been brutal along the offensive front as far as being consistency. We've had some good players here and there, but as far as performing as a consistent line, so either he undervalues the line or overvalues the talent that we have on the team, or he's right and we get proven wrong, and that's what I want, So there. And let's see, what did
Cat for Life says he passed out last night and heard that you guys had the Chargers chick on your show last night. Not on Real Talk.
He's talking to Bleezy. That's why I want to talk to Bleezy and find out how he contacted a Chargers fan. I'm trying to reach out to any Chargers fan so they can come on our shows, either on this network and my network. But I don't know how he killed that magic. So, but that'd be good to know. But he said something else. We're only by 3. Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, that's So yeah, it makes sense, Bleezy, that there, because that's basically a break even. I'm not a gambler, but they say they give 3 points for home field, so they're basically a pick 'em game if you're a gambler, I guess, because they give you 3. So you could look at it that way, but I don't know. But yes, the Chargers are favored, and I heard the over under is like at 50 something. Again, I'm not, but
51, 50. I think it's 51 or 49.
Yeah, it's like 51 something. Like, I don't know. It's probably like 51.5 or something like that, because they always try to throw a odd number, like a half number. So there's no even breaks.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a lot of point. But the score prediction you told me, they would easily go over that number.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But that's for another show on the pregame. I know.
Yeah, no, but getting back to the defense, now you got Samuel, Shante Samuel's son is back there playing cornerback. Good corner. It kind of reminds me of his father. So he's back, and I think they had 3 defensive backs that were hurt last year when we played them. So they got they got the first string this year against us. So but the middle of that field is where their weakness is at as far as run stopping in the middle. So that's where I think we're going to have to pound that rock, and if we're not if the line doesn't produce or doesn't play up to par, then yes, we're going to have to go to those quick short passes. That's what I think.
Well, you've been calling that all off season is what you
Yeah,
wanted to see from
yeah,
the Dolphins.
but especially against the Chargers. But yeah, for most of the defenses that we're going to play this year, we're going to have to do that. I mean, we're just playing some, top 10, top 12 defenses. Like
It might
10 or
help us on a number of fronts if they do that. For one, it keeps Tua upright and healthy, not
yeah,
having them sit
yeah,
back there a long time. And then it
yeah,
opens up things eventually for down the field when they start changing their game plan. So
yeah. No doubt, no doubt. So let's get on the defensive side, Rob. For the Miami Dolphins, that is. So we acquired Vic Fangio in the offseason. And I think that was, the best pickup that we got the whole offseason is the coach. And I have a new nickname for Mike McDaniel and Vic Fangio. The odd
let's
couple.
shoot.
The odd couple.
All right.
Because
Yeah, I know they are completely
they are
different. I know because
completely
Mike
different.
McDaniel's laid back and he's like far from, he's not going to sugarcoat things,
Mhm.
and McDaniel tries to sugarcoat things the best he can.
Yeah.
So,
So so
yep,
so
NGO.
when people start hearing me talking about the odd couple, that's who I'm referring to, Vic Fangio and Mike McDaniel, our head coach. Um, so on the defensive side, of course, we got Christian Wilkins, we got Zach Seiler, and uh, Davis. Raekwon Davis is in the middle nose tackle when they play the in a 3-4 set. But then you've got on the outside, of course, you got Phillips and you've got Chubb. I think Phillips is going to be the key. Phillips is going to be the key to our defense as far as the defensive line is concerned. I think he would if anybody is going to get to the passer, it's going to be Jalen Phillips. That's what I think. Hopefully he has a big game, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to step up, have a big game, get a couple sacks, put that pressure on Justin Herbert, especially if he's going to be throwing the ball 30, 40 times. We got to apply that pressure and get some sacks. The linebacker, David Long, I'm very curious and very excited to see how David Long plays on this team. I know when he was with Tennessee, he was a guy, a baller. He would fly all over the field and make impact plays behind the line of scrimmage. And he is a little better in pass coverage than some of our linebackers, although Jerome Baker can do some pass coverage. And we've been talking about Jerome Baker and saying how much he's getting paid, he's overpaid, but to be quite honest, to be fair to Jerome Baker, he has been a solid linebacker for us over the years. He really has. He's been a
Oh,
solid
no, he is.
linebacker.
He gets a lot of whatever reason he doesn't get a lot of
Yeah,
love,
yeah.
but you know, I think he's good. He's been consistent. He may not make the flashy players that people want the plays, but he does okay.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I'm going to be very, very, um, I'm very going to be very excited to see this defense as a whole play against the Los Angeles Chargers. In fact, Vic Fangio. Now, grant you, Vic Fangio was a head coach when he played against the Los Angeles Chargers, but he is 3-3 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Um, Herbert doesn't play his best against the Chargers. I mean, he's had some decent gains, but he doesn't play as against the Fangio defense. Excuse me, my bad.
What I was
He
going to
doesn't.
say.
Yeah, he
He's really
doesn't.
good against the Chargers.
Yeah, he doesn't play that well. So let's see how that transpires in this game coming up. I think they have Brandon Jones as the starting safety. Now that's surprising. I don't know if that's going to change or not. But they got Deshaun Elliott on the depth chart behind him. I'm not sure if Verone McKinley is he on the practice squad or is he IR? I don't remember if they play. I didn't see anything if they placed him on the IR and the practice squad, but I know Verone McKinley's on there as well. And but it's I thought Deshaun Elliott was going to be the starter, and he might very well shift back into that role on Sunday. I don't know. It just depends on how, because we haven't seen any action from Brandon Jones. He hasn't made any contact, on the field or anything. So we don't know how he's going to react. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Yeah, how do you see the defense playing out, Rob? The Vic Fangio defense against the Chargers.
I mean, I hope it. Only thing that worries me a little bit is week one. It's week one, and is it going to be a learning curve for this, or are they going to be up and running? They've had enough time in training camp to get things, all up and orientated, going the right direction. I hope so, but it is week one. But I think the Fangio defense will, as the season progresses, the defense will get better and better and better. But I just hope they're ready for week one. Just go out there, come up. The advantage of playing in week one, but it goes for both teams, is you're able to unload new looks that you haven't exposed on people, and you get to. So Fangio is going to be able to do things that maybe the Chargers haven't seen, on a regular. I mean, they're not going to reinvent defense, as McDaniel said the other day. The Chargers didn't reinvent defense the other day. They just performed well. I mean, last year they just performed well against the Dolphins, and that's what stopped them. Not that they couldn't figure out what they were doing. The Dolphins just couldn't get the stuff done. So that goes for the Fangio defense. Hopefully these guys just are up and running, and they're 100% educated in the Fangio defense. No blown schemes and stuff like that. And let's just hope that they can, you're not going to shut down Herbert all the way, but you can, slow them down enough to where you get more points than they get. And that's all you want at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll get to that in a few. We're going to be closing off here in a few minutes. But Joseph Whalen, you want to bring that comment up?
Which one? The last one?
I think it's the last one. Yeah. He says, how long before Chosen comes up from the practice squad? Well, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to bring him up from the practice squad unless someone gets hurt, like Tyreek or Waddle, because he's a speedster, and he's a tall receiver, but he's only 188, 190 pounds, so he's a light guy. He's small in frame, but he's a savvy veteran, and he's played in this league and proved that he can perform in this league. So, but I think the reason that they brought him back was in case one of the receivers, like a Waddle or a Tyreek, goes down, so they can replace him with his speed. And also, Chosen doesn't play special teams. He doesn't play special teams.
That's what hurt some receivers, right? I agree with you on that. And before I forget, McKinley is on the active roster.
He is. Okay.
Yeah, Verone McKinley is on the active roster.
Okay.
Sorry, Dave. I just went and made sure.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I just went and looked at the Miami Dolphins roster.
That's fine. And the reason why, too, is like we were just discussing, Rob, is Craycraft and Eazy-E, they play special teams. So, and not only that, but Craycraft doesn't just play special teams, but he plays all three receiving positions.
No, he does. I mean, he's valuable. He may not get all the numbers that
very versatile. Very versatile.
Yeah, he's very versatile. Yeah. That's what helps him make a roster.
Yeah.
So it should be, like I said, it should be an interesting first week. Right out of the jump, we're playing a very good team, a team that whomped us last year. So we need to get some whomp back and go out there and get that W.
Okay, can you bring Cap for Life's comment up? It's not the Armstead one, it's the one before that. It's right above Bleezy 3-8. That one. He says, shootout or blowout. Only one can be true Sunday. Shootout. It's going to be a shootout. It's not going to be a blowout. Neither team is going to blow either one out. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout to the very end. And I know Evan's going to like this. Whoever wins the game is going to win by a field goal.
Oh, Jason Sanders, man. So I hope it's Jason Sanders.
I hope it's Jason Sanders too, but I think whoever wins, and I'm not going to make a prediction. It's too early for me to make my predictions. I have a feeling, but I'm not going to. It's not a strong enough feeling for me to make that projection now. Who I think is going to win the game, but I do believe it's going to be a shootout, and it's going to be won by a field goal, and it's going to be. One of the two kickers is going to make the field goal and win the game.
Yeah. Bleasy says I look for big things from I like Deshaun Elliott too a lot. I'm hoping he can step up and he plays well too. So
yeah, Deshaun Elliott is one of those guys that he's a good all-around safety. He doesn't play one thing better or another. He's that type of guy where Brandon Jones plays better in the box, blitzing the quarterback and stopping the run, up in the trenches there. And he's not that good at coverage. I'm sorry, he's not. So I think Vic Fangio will figure that out pretty quick once the game starts on Sunday. And also it's barring that his injury, he's recovered from his injury, and there's no setbacks or anything during the game. God forbid, we don't want anyone to get injured. But yes, that is my prediction. Is it's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a shootout, and I think the score is going to be 34-31. 34-31. Rob, do you have a prediction, or do you?
I'm going to save my prediction for another time. But I do think the Dolphins are going to win. I am Dolphins thirsty, so
okay.
I'm a little bit of a homer, I have to admit, and it's hard for me. That's why I don't like doing predictions when it comes to the Dolphins. I'd rather ask you ask me, oh, who's going to win, the Bills or the Jets or something? Because I'll admit, that's why I would never, if I do ever start gambling, I would never bet on the Dolphins because it would probably make me broke because I would always want them to win no matter what. So that's why I would never touch their games. But yeah, I do like David Long too, my friend Lewis. Thank you, Lewis, for
joining us. Thank you.
If you haven't been here before, Lewis, throw a laser Dan Marino pass at the subscribe button and hit that thumbs up, fins up button for us.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining. Appreciate everybody in the chat joining us tonight. We're gonna have our regular time slot show. Normally during the season, our show runs 30, 38, 40 minutes. So we're gonna keep it at that. And Cat for Life said Armstead must start. Yes, I agree. I think he must start. But here's the thing with Armstead: do we really want him to start at the beginning of the season, the first game, and he's hurt? Do we want him at 100%, or do we want him at 90% with another risk of getting, worsening that injury or maybe sustaining another injury?
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you.
So that's the question. That's the question. But anyway, guys, again, thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. If you haven't subscribed, if you know anybody that's interested in Dolphins football, this is the network to come to, the Fins Talk Sports Network, Real Talk Fins Talk. And also, we have Dolphin Chatter with Dolphin Thursday, Rob Mosley. He has his YouTube channel. Yes, and me. I am your co-host on Dolphins Chatter. And we also have your webpage, where you want to explain your webpage to everyone, since we do have some new folks on.
Get this all new, dolphinthirsty.com. Just a lot of fun. I'm basically do all the writing myself, edit. So if you catch grammar errors, you can shoot me. Not shoot me, but shoot me an email, shoot me whatever, because I'm the only guy. You read your own mistakes over and over again, thinking it's right in your mind. But it's all fun. I got a new Dolphins trivia up there today under the trivia section. It's the top article right now on dolphinthirsty.com. I got a shop coming soon, very soon, hopefully. And, I'm looking forward to that. and it's going to be fun. It would help my YouTube channel, Dolphins Thirsty. So if you guys haven't gone over there, make sure you hit it here first, and then on your way out, find Dolphins Thirsty on YouTube, and I appreciate it because we're all one big community. Bobby and I just talked. We're going to start streaming a show, pregame show together on both networks at the same time. So I'm looking forward to that. This week, we both have different show times, but in the future, we're going to be doing shows together. I'm looking forward to that because this is a great family. Him and Evan, if he's still listening, he's a super duper guy. I'm hoping he gets to come down and we go to the Panthers game here together. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, Steve, for giving me time. And of course, Bobby, if you hear this later, thank you, Bobby, for letting me be part of this network, and Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a show on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rob and I will be doing a pregame show this Sunday. So if you want to catch that, we'd appreciate it. And again, guys, on your way out, hit that like button. You know anybody that's a Dolphin fan, send them to both our channels. Send them this our way, and we appreciate if they subscribe. And we appreciate y'all again tonight. And remember.
Wait! Don't go away. I got to get the intro. Hold on.
All righty.
Let me see. All right. Now I'm ready for it. Now you can do it.
Got it. Dolphins number one, baby.
Dolphins number one.